Welcome back to Balance While Blooming. Welcome to a new monthly budget. Just know that if you are starting your budget today in June, that is okay. You are never too late to start focusing on your finances. You are never too late to start balancing your life, and it's never too late to work on becoming your best self. Now, we have to take it one day at a time, one step at a time when it comes to all of our areas of your life, from finances to your family to your career, so many things that add up to make you who you are. Now, today we are going to talk about our monthly budget. In May, we ended on the 20th. So what we are going to do today is May 21st through June 21st. Now, you can do from the first of the month to the first of the month. It just never adds up for me, and it just does not make sense for our family. Now, of course, I am 1 year in as of today doing my budget. So from June 1st of 2023 to June 1st of 2024, I have been budgeting for an entire year in this system, figuring out what works for me. So I'm going to quickly run through our budget, what it looks like, and then we will break down the budget for a zero-based family. Don't judge your financial situation to our financial situation. We are very lucky of our financial situation, where we are in life and how we handle our finances. So start today, start even just tracking what you do and how you handle your money, and take it one step at a time. And let's jump into what my spreadsheet looks like and how you can create one of these and start a system like this. First is the income. You need to know where your money's coming in and out. As you can see, my husband gets paid weekly, I get paid bi-weekly, and we do have tenants who live in our house, which are family members, and so we also have some other miscellaneous money that comes in. Bills and expenses is the next thing that you should focus on. This is your rent, this is your water, this is your utilities, things that you need for your bills and expenses. Most of these should be needs or wants that you would sacrifice last. Then debt, what you can have here is student loan, car debt, credit cards, anything that is not your mortgage or rent will go in here. Now you will see for us that we have an old debt in collections. I'm not putting our savings for that in here because we have to sync it and pay it all at once. So over here you have your sinking funds. That is your emergency fund. That is your family trips. That can be anything that you are saving for, such as us. It's debt and emergency funds. Oh, and our home, to buy our home. Then spending funds is all of the money that you're going to spend. Then overall, we make sure that our income is zeroed out by making sure that our budget goes into our bills and expenses, debt, and sinking funds to the same amount as our income to be a zero-based family. Now that's how we do it. You can always leave a buffer here if you want, but I would rather make sure that all of our money that we expect lowballing is able to afford everything that we need to do for the month, and any extra money obviously can go into more spending or more savings, or go into a different bill that might come in, or anything that comes that way. So we lowball here, highball in all the other categories. That's how I kind of run this through. Let's jump into this budget as you guys see me do it every single month. If you want to check out my other budgeting and finance videos, I have a whole playlist for you guys to watch all the things and how we save our money, talk about emergency funds, and so much more. And let's get into our June budget. So you always want to start with your income. Know what is coming in, where you're getting your money, and how it is all going to come in. So first off is my husband. He gets $400 a week. It's usually more than that, but we always lowball it. And he does have a 5th paycheck this month if we go all the way to the 21st, because of the 21st here. Then we have my paycheck. We upped it from the $1,550 to $1,700 because I did get a raise. That is not my full raise, of course. This is lowballing it to give us a couple $100 to always have to play. For rent, we get $400 from my mother-in-law. This one is always $400 no matter what. And then we have other tenants that have back rent. and that is about $1,200. It might be just $1,000. Let's add this all up and see what our total is to add up the entire month's worth. Not a bad month at all. I have $7,000. Now, this $7,000 is going to have to be broken down into your bills and expenses, your debt, your savings, and your spending, all broken down into its own categories. Now, this will end up being zero at the end because we distribute the $7,000 through all the other categories to make sure that we can stay in budget, and try as the month goes on, as you track, to stay within these means of what we budgeted, and hopefully our actual is either less or more towards savings. Now, before you can even spend or save, you need to make sure that your bills and expenses align so that you have enough money to stay within your means and pay all of your bills and expenses for your household. So of course, rent for us is always $1,400. We do not have a water bill this month. It will be next month because it comes out quarterly. Our internet is $115 as always. Our phone is always $35. Utilities is $500. Our groceries is $900. Gym is down to $35 instead of $50 because we lowered my husband's membership. Gas is $300. That number has been golden for us. Health insurance, we are paying a few medical bills. I'm hoping to get my wisdom teeth out in July, so we are also going to be using some of our emergency fund for that because they are killing me, but I do need to pay a copay plus a month or so of health insurance. And then our subscriptions is a little bit high this month, but we have a lot of our supplements coming in and the things that come in more than once a month, as we have Amazon subscribe and chips, our Xbox, it's also our Apple storage, all of those things add up into this category. So let's figure out what we have for our bills and expenses. Usually we stay anywhere from $3,500 to about $5,000 depending on the month. So let's figure out what it is. $3,980. As I said, that sounds about right. $980. And that is for all of our needs and expenses. But now that we figured out our bills and expenses, you always need to look at your debt. You need to make sure that you're paying off your credit card, at least the minimum. I always say try to get as close to zeroing out your credit card as possible if you are able to. But of course, start with the minimum and any extra that you can pay. Your car bill, make sure that you are always paying that. Put it on auto pay if you need to. Set the date that you want it. And then same with your student loans, make sure that you are paying at least the bare minimum for those and any other debt that you have accrued. For us, we pay $320 a month. That is auto paid, and then anything that we can put extra into it, we are trying to do, as we have just over $2,000 on our car, and then that saves up another $320 that we could put into other things that we want to save up for or have to pay off that other debt. But this debt is right now accruing interest, where our one in collections is, yes, hurting our credit, but it is not accruing interest. So us trying to pay off this car first is the way that we want to go. I am not a financial advisor. This is the way we are deciding to attack our debt. Please go talk to someone if you are in a financial situation, as I am not someone to give financial advice at all. How I'm sharing my life with you guys. So that being said, we now have a category that some people split up. And if you are tight with money, or you have a hard time looking at your money like this and not seeing the good part and the bad part, then please separate these and separate them. And I would say try to save first and then spend. Now you will see this month, it is not a good savings month for us. And we had a huge saving goal for the quarter. it will not happen. Unfortunately, we just don't have $5,000 in the budget left over to do that. But what I will share with you is where we are going to save and why our spending is going to be a little bit higher than normal. And then hopefully still stay within our zero-based budget and still be able to put more into savings when we get higher paychecks this month. So let's break down our sinking and savings and where the money is going. Okay, so I always like to start with the positive first of putting in all the money, then we will figure out how much we have that will get us to zero to break this down. So of course, as always, we have our bad collection debt that we are saving for, and then we have our home. Soon we will be going back and filling our emergency funds, but not this month. You need to focus on your debt first. But that being said, we do need to focus on our debt a lot and our home, and then we will fully fund our emergency fund, which we'll talk about when we start putting money into there. Then we have his, hers, dine out. This is also fam fund, so anything that we do as a family. And then we have other and miscellaneous. And you will see that this month, this is high. And it's because my car is making weird noises and that it just needs to be looked at by a mechanic. My husband does a lot of our car work, but there's a point where there's just stuff that he can't do. So we will be putting that into other and miscellaneous, and you'll be like, holy crap, Bridget, that's higher than what you guys have ever really put. It is true. So let's see what we even have to play with, and then we can talk about where the money is going to go. So again, you take your full income, everything that's coming in, you subtract your bills and expenses, and you subtract your debt. And we are left over with $2,700. $2,700, and that should add up to these two numbers. All of these will add up to all of our spending funds, and all of these will add up to our sinking funds, and these two numbers add up to your total. Again, if you can't look at these as two separate categories and see that you do need to save and spend at the same time to find that balance and live your best life and become the person you want to be, where you are overly spending or not saving, please separate these categories and really focus on saving then spending. So first off, we need to talk about our home. Every month we try to save $500 towards our home. Will keep us on track for how much we need for the down payment for our house. We already do have a nest egg somewhere else. But that being said, we need to make sure that we are still additionally saving $500 each month. Now, this month, we also try to save $500 towards our debt every month. This is about $9,000. We are about halfway there right now to saving this. So 500 plus 500, of course, is $1,000. So you are going to think I am a crazy person, because to figure out what we have for our spending is $2,700 minus $1,000 is $1,700. That's just a big number for us. We've been trying to stay under like $1,000 in spending, but I honestly think that this car bill is going to be at least like $700. So what I'm doing for other and miscellaneous is $900. So you minus $900, that leaves you with $800 for dine out, his, hers, all of that. Do I hope that we spend all $800? No, but I believe between these two categories we will be about $1,500. But I always like to highball it. As I said, anything that we do not spend, we will be saving or putting towards our debt. As always, remember, I am a year into my budgeting journey. This is a year of me figuring out exactly the money I have coming in, the money that I want to put out. We've gotten raises over the time. We've brought in more money. Our rent has gotten raised. We took on utility bills. We have changed health insurances. We bought a car. So much has happened. Our emergency fund was at $10,000 at one point. Now it's down to $5,000. Money comes and goes. You are never going to be perfect when it comes to money, but the way that you feel the most comfortable is what is important, and figuring out a system that works for you to not only become your best self in money, but feel clear in your mind, to make sure that you are feeling fulfilled and making sure that you are balancing your income and your wants and your needs and figuring out how to live that life of balance. Now, if you saw us a year ago, you knew we were traveling a lot. We were going on long weekends. We were doing a lot. But now we're more figuring out our debt. We are figuring out how to buy our home. We are still spending time as a family. We are going out to dinner. We are having the luxuries of being home and maybe doing more date nights instead of big $600, $700 vacations or even $1,000. So we are really shifting where our money's going. If you want to look back at one of my first budget videos, it was about the same template, maybe just a little bit different, and our money situation was completely different. Don't compare yourself, because we are in a totally different situation than we were last year. And I hope that you can use this as one area of your life to start taking control. Even if you start just tracking your expenses and tracking where your money goes, and then next month you start budgeting and figuring out what came in and what came out and what the averages are, and figuring out what those lucky numbers are. And from there, let me know what other type of videos, from mindset to personal development to really just balancing your life and becoming the person that you want to be and who you want to bloom into one day at a time. Let me know what videos you want to see. Join this community. We do not only talk money, but we talk every area of life. And I hope that you take your finances seriously, start taking your life with tension, and keep blooming into the person you want to be. Keep balancing your life, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.